because
Definitely.
selfishness implies you're depriving somebody of something, and it's not like there's a baby hanging on a tree with my name on it that is waiting to get plucked. When I was young, 20, 22, 23, and it was like, that was when it was hardcore, because my husband and I, well, we were dating then. We didn't get married till we were in our mid-20s, but we were already dating, and it was always like, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have babies? And then at our wedding, people were like, when are you going to have babies? So being asked that, and at the time, I mean, yeah, the internet existed, but it wasn't the way it was now. It was like 80% porn and 20% cats. So so like you had nowhere to go, and it was like, depending on the culture that you're in and the family that you're in and the community that you're in, like having kids is a big deal. So like seeing young women in their early 20s coming out in the comments to be like, I needed to hear this, like that's amazing.
And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the GVizzle Sizzle series. Kind of coaxed you into doing it.
Because I am a font of wisdom.
Yeah, exactly. but in all seriousness, there's like there's things that I was hoping to try and do with the Tempest psychology stuff, but I didn't feel like I had the personality or the delivery to be able to do it. And I think that when you're talking about things like this child-free stuff, you're like, I don't know, you're just more naturally skilled at it, and it comes across really well, and it genuinely helps people.
So if I'm hearing this correctly, you and I are in a Cyrano de Bergerac type of...
Yes. yeah, exactly. Cyrano de GVizzle.
Pull a string on my back, and I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
We got a lot going on.
Yeah. So,
and all because you wanted to make a silly little video about the pandemic.
I know. I wanted other people to share their pandemic experiences. And I was like, all right, she looks fit. She could go first. I'll ask her.
You mean she looks highly intelligent and skilled?
Yeah.
It comes across in my rock eyebrow arch.
And you have the ability to look and sound condescending on a whim.
It is a gift, isn't it?
Yeah. And to be honest, like I personally found the Childfree video, like even as a bloke, I found it cathartic to listen to, and I really appreciate a lot of the viewpoints that you said in it, and the balance that you had with it. That it's not, because some of the stuff that does rub guys up the wrong way is this whole it's just my choice, I'm the woman, I'm in control of my own body, and all that stuff, like stuff that we know, but it's also the way that some other people do it. It's like, it's very exclusionary towards men and their wants for life and what we might want out of it.
I get that, but I think men tend to forget that they also have that same choice, right?
Yeah.
Because I think being child-free is 100% that individual's choice. Because if I had any doubt and just was like, okay, well, I'll have a baby because of my husband, that is absolutely the wrong reason to have a kid, right? Like, I think you both need to be 100% in, or you both need to be 100% out, because those people who are talked into it, there's a big likelihood that you're going to have that child and fall in love with that child and not regret having had it. But there's also a chance that you're going to be like, ugh, I was right. I don't know. So like when men get bent out of shape that women have made this choice and they say it's my choice not to have children, they have the same choice, right?
Yeah.
If it would, like, if my husband was the one who wanted to be child-free and I didn't, it still wouldn't have worked out, or vice versa. Like it's a deal breaker as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know why anybody gets upset about, like, well, it's 100% my choice. Absolutely it is. Because it affects every day of your life for the rest of your life. And that's what pisses me off so much when people say it's a selfish not to have children, which I absolutely disagree with 100%. Because selfishness implies you're depriving somebody of something, and it's not like there's a baby hanging on a tree with my name on it that is waiting to get plucked. So the argument is completely faulty, especially, and I said this in the video, especially when, like, who's going to take care of you when you're older? But even if it was selfish, and I would concede that it is, but I don't. I need to keep putting that disclaimer out there. I'm allowed to be selfish with a decision that affects every aspect of my life, every day of my life, for the rest of my life. I'm allowed to do that. I don't have to be this selfless Mother Teresa to bring light into the world, because then everyone's like, what if your baby's going to be the next Gandhi? It's like, well, it's probably not going to be Gandhi. It's probably not going to be Hitler. It's going to be like a mid-level manager in a bank who plays a lot of video game. Like, it's not like, let's relax a little bit. But yeah, if people think it's selfish, that's okay. You're allowed to be selfish.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. Like, if I don't put myself first, who else is going to? And not to say that I don't think of other people, but if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't take care of my husband and my family. If I'm not at my best, I can't be my best for somebody else. So that's okay to take care of yourself first. And it's okay to think of that.
So like selfishness implies that you're focusing on your self-interest at the expense of other people. But choosing not to have children isn't selfishness.
There's no other people.
Yeah, it's self-focused, but that's not a bad thing. You're more aware of what your priorities are, and having children should be a big decision.
I don't think people think about it enough, right? And I think I said in the video, people should think about the reasons why they want to have children as much as people who don't want to have children think about it.
Yeah. Because
people just assume that's just the way it is, right? You grow up, you get married, you have kids. It's just the natural order of things. And and like a lot of women who came up in the videos or comments of the original video, they kind of said the same thing, that they had children because they felt they had to, but if they could go back, they wouldn't. And that came up in the comments a lot more often than women who didn't have children and wish that they had. Like that came up never in the comments. But women saying, if I could go back, I wouldn't do it. I wish I'd known then I had a choice. Like, it's a big fucking deal. And I knew someone who told me she couldn't afford to have a cat. And 3 months later, she got pregnant on purpose. And like, just because you can doesn't mean you should, because you may not be in the right headspace to have a child and take care of a child. You may not, like, I know people say it's classist to say you shouldn't have children if you can't afford it, but I don't think children are a right? Like, you don't, if you're going to have a child, do what you can to give that child a promising or a better life than what, like, that isn't that the whole point, that you want to give your children a better life than you had? Which I don't see in any application, right? Like, it's like, you kind of hope, and it's not even just with children. Like, I've known female or women leaders who you would think, because they struggled to get to their position, they would want to make it easier for the women who come up behind them to pave the way for those women. But then some of them have that attitude of like, I had to fucking hustle, so you're going to have to hustle too. And that's not the point. The whole point is to make things better and make things easier and make things more attainable. But instead, people just get petty